Max Verstappen is once again at the centre of a controversy involving the FIA, this time for something that many believe to be somewhat exaggerated. It all started during the weekend of the Singapore GP, when the three-time Red Bull champion, speaking about his car's performance, unleashed a bad word in the middle of a press conference, which triggered an immediate reaction from the motor racing regulatory body. Verstappen, known for his direct personality, called his car fucked, which made the presenter of the press apologise to those present. And that's when the FIA decided to act, applying an unusual penalty, community services. The reaction to the decision was almost as fast as Verstappen himself on the track. Several grid riders, including heavyweight names like Lewis Hamilton, not only criticised the punishment, but also classified it as disproportionate. For them, swearing in the heat of the moment, whether on or off the tracks, is part of the intensity and adrenaline that runs through the veins of the competitors. In defence of Verstappen, Hamilton even suggested that the Dutch simply ignore the order. However, Max has found his own way to show his dissatisfaction, answering questions from the press with monosyllables. During the collective lectures that followed, Verstappen limited himself to answers like yes and no, sometimes complementing with a maybe. It was a clear form of protest. At one point, he even suggested that the interviews be held outside the press room, where he felt more comfortable talking about whatever he wanted to talk about without the risk of further sanctions. This behaviour ended up dominating the spotlight, diverting attention from Lando Norris's victory and the track disputes. However, despite the protest, Verstappen will still have to meet the penalty. But the big question that hovers in the air is, how will this community service be? Although the FIA has not disclosed details, it is possible to speculate based on previous situations, and Max is not unfamiliar with this kind of sanction. In 2018, for example, after a heated fight with Esteban Ocon at the Brazil GP, the Dutchman was sentenced to community service by the FIA itself. On that occasion, Verstappen had to accompany the race stewards during a stage of Formula E in Marrakesh, where he observed closely the hard work of the race officials. The second day of service was dedicated to a meeting with the stewards, where the pilot would have learned lessons about the importance of decisions made within the competition. Verstappen himself later commented that, although he did not agree with the punishment at the time, he managed to extract something positive from the experience. Given the history, it is likely that the FIA will follow a similar path this time. Verstappen, who already has experience with this type of situation, can be placed again in an educational environment where he will have to observe or collaborate with the internal operations of the federation. But does this kind of punishment really make a difference for a strong-willed pilot like Max? And more importantly, will it affect your performance on the tracks? Now, the question is, do you think the punishment was fair, or did the FIA overreact? Is Verstappen right to protest in this way? Leave your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more news and controversies of Formula One.